So let's take a look at some of the common Google Ads extension types that you can use in your Google Ads account or campaigns or whatever you want to put them in. But basically, when we're in Google Ads, if you come over here on the left-hand side, we'll see campaigns. Once we have campaigns selected, we will see some different options. We're looking for assets. They used to be called extensions, but they've since changed the name to assets. They're basically the same thing, but when you click on this, you're going to see a bunch of different quote-unquote extensions, which are now called assets. If you're not seeing all of them, you can extend the number of rows that you're able to see here. That way you're able to see all the data and all the different assets that you have set up. So it'll tell you how many assets in total you have and how many it's showing. So we can see 13 of 13 right now, which is basically what we want to see. And there's a bunch of different assets. If we come over here to create asset, we'll see there's like business name, logo, site link, headlines, descriptions, callouts. Some of these are going to be used quite frequently, others not so much. So let's go through some of the main ones here. I think the first two we can look at are business name and business logo. We don't actually have those added in here, but it's pretty straightforward. Basically, when someone's doing a search for something, they're going to be able to see the name of the business up here at the very top, as well as their logo in what's called a favicon or favicon, however you want to say it. See how this one doesn't have the business name, or it just has like a generic icon here. This one does have the business name, but no logo. And so it's just kind of like a branding thing, you know. It helps so that people know what business they're reaching out to. So definitely recommend adding that in. The thing is, you'll need to complete an advertiser verification process before you can put these two in here, because nowadays if you click on these three little dots, it will show like who this advertiser is, where they're based out of. You can even see all the different ads that they're running and whatnot. So in part, in order to do that, they have to do this whole verification process, which then allows you to add your business name, your logo, but it's pretty straightforward to add those in. And then there's site link extensions, which are actually, let's go down to location extension. And when we hover over these, you'll see this little tooltip thing over here to show business information like your address and store hours. And if we see on this first ad, it's got this little location pin, and then it has an address as well as the hours of operation, where we can click and see when this business is available or when they're open. So this is the location extension. It's basically pulling information from their Google business profile, which is one of these, right? Or also known as a maps listing. And it's able to draw in that information and put it, so, you know, like if you're searching for, this is probably a better example, like oil change near me, right? It's going to show you something nearby. So it's saying like here, oil change is in Tempe, it's open and closes at 6 p.m. And then I might be like, oh, okay, let me get over there and get an oil change done, right? So that's going to be coming back here. That's going to be your location extension. Then there's site link extensions, and those are going to take us to different pages. And we can see down here at the bottom left, when I hover over these, we can see a URL. This is like US holiday maintenance. This one's like November to December, some sort of buy 3 get 1 deal. This one's another deal. But these each link to different pages where we can get more information about this oil change service. And you'll notice that some of these ads, like this one, there's not a lot going on. It's basically just, this one actually has a logo, but not technically a business name unless they just put the website as the business name. But it's really just 2 headlines and a description. And that's all that makes up this ad. And because of that, it's kind of small. It doesn't take up a whole lot of room on the page here. And you really want your ad to take up as much space as possible on the search engine results page. That's going to get you a higher click-through rate typically, and more clicks and better performance and lower cost per click and all that sort of good stuff, right? And so that's partially why we would go through and add all these different things, like adding site link extensions makes the page a little bit bigger, adding location extension makes the page a little bit bigger, and so on and so forth, right? Now we can see, so these are site link extensions right here, and well, you can see it says site link extension, and it's usually going to be like other pages of your website that people can go to, like claim 40% discount, contact us, about us, read testimonials. And so when somebody clicks on one of those links, it can take them to a page on the site where they can get more information. And then callout extensions, these are pretty common. Stuff like, well, we'll see them in here, like save with a coupon, free fluid check. So you'll have like a first description, a second description, and then a couple of things at the end, which are usually just a couple of words followed by a period. And this does not look like one because it's a little bit too long, but it usually is going to show at the end of the description. And then structured snippets going to be very similar to that. So we were just talking about a call out. Right below that is structured snippet, which is going to be more like this, where it says, service catalog. It's going to start with a headline, and then it's going to list out some things within that topic area. So this is going to say like service catalog, custom closets, closet remodels, closet additions. So coming back to here, right? It would show up as like a kind of like these here, except for it would just have a headline that says, service catalog, closet installations, blah, 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 blah. Just going to make our ad a little bit bigger, add some more relevant information. And really, Google's going to decide when it wants to show this different stuff on the ad based on what it's seeing. It uses machine learning algorithms or AI to figure out what's performing well and when, and who to put these in front of when to put them in front of people to get the best results. So it's really just about putting all this information in here, and then Google Ads can go choose when it wants to display the information properly to get you the best results. The other major one here that we're seeing is call extension. We actually already see that right here, the call extension, which is basically just listing your phone number, and then it will show at the bottom of the ad. Normally this will be more prominent on mobile devices. Obviously I'm on a desktop computer right now, but you'll still see that there's this clickable call now button here. And that makes it so that somebody can, it's actually probably more common for like an oil change, right? Like if you want an oil change and you're just not sure how long you're going to have to sit and wait in line, you can just click to call them right away from that button and say, hey, I'm thinking about coming in for an oil change. How quickly could you get me in? Cool, sounds good. I'll be there shortly, right? So that's kind of a call extension. Pretty helpful to have. Just allows an extra way for somebody to get in touch with you right off the hop before they even click through to your ad and deal with navigating your website or anything like that. The other major one is an image extension. Although you'll notice that we're not seeing the option to add an image extension in here. There's certain things that you have to do in order to get the eligibility to use image extensions, or assets as they're now called. But you'll see in this oil change example that these places have a picture of their storefront, so that you can just quickly look and see, oh yeah, this is an oil change place. It looks like it's in the area. Maybe it'd be good to even have a picture of somebody conducting an oil change, like actually changing the oil in a car. Of course, you can add a bunch of images and then Google will test and figure out what's going to work the best. But there's eligibility requirements, like you have to be running ads for a certain period of time and meet all these different criteria, at which point you'll then be able to come in here and you'll see image extension or image as an option, and then you can add that in here as well. Some of these other ones are really just not all that common, like headline and description, price, app promotion, lead forms, kind of hit or miss, but I would say the ones that get used most often are going to be business name, logo, site link, call out, structured snippet, call, and location. If you've got those in place, usually e-commerce is going to be more like promotion and price, and then obviously apps. Encourage downloads of your app. If you have a mobile app, you have that option here. And then headline and description are actually more kind of like to track what's going on with the headlines in your ads. We won't really get into that for the purpose of this video, but once you do have your extensions all set up, you're also going to get all this data, which can be a little bit deceiving, like especially with these site link extensions. It looks like the site link extension was clicked 63 times, but that's not necessarily how this data works. This is actually just showing the data of how your ad performed when this extension asset was on your ad, was showing on your ad. And so whenever this claim 40% discount site link shows up, we get a 3.57% click-through rate, which is actually not as high as like About Us and Read Testimonials and Contact Us, which is interesting. It's also resulting in a higher cost per click, but we did get 14 conversions at a decent cost per conversion. And so this data allows us to determine, like maybe we have an image that's not getting the greatest click-through rate. We could come over here and pause whatever extension or asset we want, and then add new ones in and test to see what's working the best. But just know that, like, this callout extension, for instance, it's saying that it got 39 clicks, excuse me, which led to 2 conversions. But there's no real way that somebody can even click on a callout extension, right? So, like, you can't even really click on these here. So it's not necessarily indicating how this extension itself performed, but how the ad performed when the extension was showing with the ad. So I hope that's helpful. If there's anything you did have questions about in terms of the different site link extensions, or the different extension types or assets that can be used on your ads, don't hesitate to reach out. Just drop your questions in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to get back to them there.
Look, if you're the type of person that just doesn't even want to deal with Google Ads anymore, then you can always reach out to me. My company is Missoula SEO Geek. I'll leave a link to my website down below, but we do manage Google Ads for different companies in different industries, and you can come learn about what we do, what makes us unique. You can even read some of the testimonials from some businesses that we've taken from 0 to over $1 million in revenue, like this one here. And really just see that, this is the type of thing that's going to explode your business growth. So feel free to reach out. You can always give us a call or contact us through our website, and look forward to working with you.